What's up, guys? I'm BTC. Overwatch 2 has a couple of problems. One of them is hero balance because the devs don't know what they're doing. I mean, they can't seem to figure out how to balance the game because they don't know what they're doing. And this causes significant problems, it seems, every other week. It's not just individual characters either, it's the entire role, like the healing role. It's not a support role, it's a healing role. The healing role is just bad. The DPS role has had their passive changed a couple times. I think when Overwatch 2 first got released, they had extra movement speed, and then it got nerfed and changed so that upon elimination, you got a little bit of extra reload and movement speed at the same time. And then recently, they nerfed that, so now it's only reload speed, which, of course, is amazing for Hanzo because of all the time that Hanzo needs to reload. His passive is incredibly useful, right? It's super useful for that reload speed on Hanzo there. You think the devs would have addressed that, brought it up, or, made some sort of other change to the character. But no, they're just like, we're just gonna leave it. So what if he doesn't actually get any... He's the only character in the game that doesn't actually get any kind of passive. Whatever. We're just gonna leave it like that because who cares? Also, speaking of stupid things, recently Genji was nerfed, and the reason why he was nerfed was because he was too strong with the old passive where he had the extra movement speed. So recently they just nerfed that and removed the movement speed, but they didn't revert the nerfs. He was nerfed because he was too strong with the movement speed, then they removed the movement speed and they don't revert the nerfs because reasons, I guess. Anyways, so we are going to get a bunch of changes. It looks like tomorrow we're going to get a balance patch, which is going to nerf a whole bunch of characters. We're also going to be getting reworks, which is probably not going to happen right away. I expect that might actually not happen till after Christmas because Blizzard's probably going to be going on a break and stuff like that. So we're going to get that probably a little bit later, but I will talk about the reworks in just a second here. So first up is the nerfs. So we've got a whole bunch of characters. The first one is going to be Doomfist. He's getting a nerf because he just gets way too much health now whenever you hit someone with your abilities. So you're getting... Wait, that didn't hit? Hold on, that did not connect? That didn't connect. Are you serious here? Okay, that one did, but the other one didn't? Alright, so Doomfist is also bugged. Yeah, hang on a second here. What? What? Are you kidding me? Oh. Oh my god. So that one got hit and that one didn't. Okay, so not only is Doomfist getting nerfed, he's currently bugged. Which is great. Anyways, so they're nerfing him because he's getting too much temporary health. His passive got boosted a little too much. Every time you hit someone with your abilities, you get some temporary health, and they felt that it's too strong. So now he's just a little bit too tanky, pardon the pun. Although these aren't even tanks anymore. They're more like bruisers. But the point is he gets too much health, so they're going to be nerfing how much health he gets. Now, I do want to quickly point out, watch this. Let me ask you something. Does that look like the impact, the damage of a one-of-a-kind weapon that was passed down through several generations of some of the biggest, strongest warriors in all of mankind?
Wait for it.
Does that look like one of the strongest weapons ever made? Does that look like something that could level a skyscraper? Because to me, it doesn't.
What was your plan?
To me, the Doomfist Gauntlet feels more like you're hitting someone with a wet noodle rather than, a one-of-a-kind, super strong, powerful weapon that's been passed down for several generations of fighters. Yeah, it doesn't quite seem like that at all to me. So, yeah, that's just an issue with the character. I'll talk about more about that in another video because they need to rework Doomfist. They need to get rid of the stupid power block because it's dumb. They need to rework his damage and his health and all that sort of stuff. Anyways, let's continue. Another character that they're going to be nerfing is Sojourn. Now, she was recently nerfed so that she could no longer one-hit enemies because her secondary attack, the railgun, was too strong. So they nerfed it so that you couldn't get one-hits with it, right? Well, the problem with that is that you can still get one-hits if you were to get damage boosted by a Mercy. So that meant a lot of people started playing Mercy, and they were damage boosting the Sojourn, so now you could get those one-hits. The reason why this is an issue is because in the, let's say, upper bracket, I'll say around, let's say Diamond and above, not just Pro, but even Diamond and above, people who are good enough to get consistent criticals with the Sojourn, Railgun, you could easily just go and start one-hitting people quite easily. So they had to nerf that. Now, here's the issue, though. There's nothing that they're gonna do to make this where it's actually going to be good. Because either they continue nerfing the damage to the point where it's gonna be stupid and useless, or they need to make it so that it takes so long to build up that it's almost not even worth having.
Doesn't get better than that.
What I think needs to happen is they need to get rid of the Railgun altogether as a normal ability. I made a hero concept years ago. The fun fact, Jeff Kaplan talked about the desire to have a character with a Railgun, and that's why I created my own hero concept, Marcus. Now, I made Marcus, I gave him a Railgun as an ultimate, because the whole point of a Railgun is to get a one-hit. Like, that is the point of a Railgun, it's to one-hit your enemies. So nerfing it to the point where you can no longer one-hit enemies doesn't make any sense, and it completely goes against the very concept of a Railgun, because Railguns are meant to one-hit the enemy. So if they have it as just the ultimate, then it would be fine. You could speed up that charge a little bit, right? You could speed up the charge, when you attack with the ultimate, it goes down and then it recharges very quickly, but you could get rid of that, or you could have that amount at all, and then just get rid of the Railgun for the normal attack. Give it something else, right? There's some sort of other attack or whatever. I mean, she's kind of overloaded with abilities and stuff right now as it is, but I mean, you could give her something else. It doesn't really matter what it is. It could be something small. It could be something to help your teammates. It could be whatever. Who cares? I don't care. But just get rid of the Railgun, take it off as a normal weapon, and make it more dangerous as the ultimate. There, problem solved. Next up is Roadhog, who's almost certainly going to be getting some nerfs. Mostly, it's just his combo. It's too good. It's better than most of the things that other tanks can do. So they're probably going to nerf either the cooldown on it, or maybe his damage or something, but they're going to make his combo not as good. Also, I do want to quickly mention that I saw someone whining about him being able to destroy a Symmetra ultimate. First of all, why are you playing Symmetra? She's garbage. Second, why does Symmetra still have that stupid ultimate? And third, it's not just Roadhog by himself, like being able to destroy a Symmetra ultimate. You need to have a Roadhog combined with a Kiriko. Both Roadhog and Kiriko need to use their ultimate, and then Roadhog can destroy the Symmetra ult in about 2 seconds, or maybe even a little bit less. Regardless, he can destroy the Symmetra ult very, very quickly. And again, I saw people whining about this, and I have to ask, why are you whining about it? It's literally 2 ultimates combined that are being used against one ultimate. So you have both a Roadhog and a Kiriko ultimate that are destroying the Symmetra ultimate. Yes, that is not that's fine. That's not unbalanced in any way, shape, form, or fashion. It's 2 ultimates versus 1. It should be stronger. That's not a difficult concept to understand. Next up, we have so Tracer is probably going to be getting some buffs. And that is because she's kind of garbage right now. She was bugged a little while ago, but they did seem to fix that. So if you look, you can see does full damage at close range. Up until like a patch ago, she was able to do full damage at about 20 meters. But if you look, you can see that it's being reduced by fall-off damage now, so that's not a problem. But the problem that she does have is that the character just isn't very good anymore. And it's just, there are just issues with this character. She worked in 6v6, but now she's just not very good with 5v5 and the way that everything works and whatnot and yada yada yada. So she's probably going to get some buffs, most likely in the form of damage or something to that effect. Now, there are going to be a couple of reworks The first one is going to be with Brigitte. It's mainly her ultimate. Same thing, well, the other character is going to be getting more than that. But Brigitte is going to have a new ultimate in some way or another. It's not going to be the rally anymore. Or if it is a rally, it's going to do more than what it currently does. Now, here's the thing. The rally ultimate has always been really, really garbage, except for the higher brackets, right? Like, with the upper bracket, we're talking, like, top 500 people here. Top 500 people and the pros, they could use Rally, and it was really good. And they could win entire fights with it, and it was great. However, for everybody else, we're talking, like, Master rank and below. Not even Diamond and below, Masters and below. Her ultimate was Garbo. And it got even more Garbo when they changed it in Overwatch 2. Because now, it no longer gives armor. Instead, it gives the overcharge thing. Now, they did kind of change it a little bit so that you now get, it's supposed to be a proportional amount of overcharge, but it's just not the case. Like, the armor is better in every way. So, not only has it always been kind of a meh sort of ultimate, but once they changed it from armor to the overcharge, it got even worse. So they're going to be changing the ultimate. I don't know what it's going to be changed to, but it's likely not going to... I think the first thing they're going to try to do is they're going to try to keep it as the overcharge, and they're going to add something else to it. And then when that doesn't work, it'll take them another couple months to figure out that it's still not working, and then they're going to go and change it again. It probably should just be something completely different. And the other character is McCree. So McCree is going to get a little bit more than just an ultimate rework. Yes, his ultimate is good-ish, right? But it's very situational, right? Like, at one point, his ultimate was so bad that it was essentially just used as a reload. Like, it was a free reload. That's how bad the ultimate was. They made a whole bunch of buffs to it, and it got better. And now, like, okay, yeah, you can use it, and you can, like, maybe get, like, 1 or 2 eliminations with it or something like that. The problem is that it takes so long. Even now, it still takes too long to charge. So you're going to only get, like, 1 or 2 because people are going to be able to hide very, very quickly. Or if you do some sort of sneak around thing where you get behind the enemy team and that. But again, that sort of tends to be a little bit more on the situational side of things. So, basically his ultimate is kind of Garbo. If they made it any faster, if it charged any faster, and I'm not talking about like the ultimate charge, I'm talking about the Deadeye, like if that actually zoomed in on the enemies faster than it currently does, this.
It's high noon.
See how long it took that to happen? I mean, obviously they got taken out because they're just dumb bots and they were not trying to hide. But it still took like, what, 2.5, 3 seconds? Players are going to be able to get out of the way. Obviously the bots that are on a, you know, set path are not going to do that. But there needs to be something different with his ultimate. I don't know what they're going to do. I know one of the things that they could probably try to do is some sort of dueling mechanism. Maybe you lock onto an enemy and both of you, like, are locked in place and, like, you can't move or something like that. Perhaps both of you take less damage, right? So you lock onto the enemy, neither of you can move. Both of you get damage resist of some kind from the other people so they can't interfere. And then it's just you and the other person trying to attack. That might be a little tricky to do, but that certainly is something. And then there's all sorts of other things. There could be, so this is one of the things that I came up with forever ago, was a trick shot. Basically, you can lock onto the enemies, and when you attack, it will hit them no matter what. Now, it won't do, you know, it won't do full damage. It's not going to hit them, from full to dead instantly. Instead, it would do, you know, a set amount of damage. But, you know, even when they hide around the corner, like, basically the idea is that the bullets would bounce and ricochet around, and you can have it so that it will hit them around corners and that sort of stuff. So you can do trick shots, right, where it bounces and whatnot. Think basically Moira's orb, except for your attacks, your ultimate. The other thing that they want to change for McCree, though, is going to be his sticky, because it is kind of lackluster. The funny thing is there are people that actually whine that it's too strong, which is laughable. Compared to the ability to stun enemies, it's not even remotely close to being as useful. But the devs have also said that they feel like McCree lost too much of his utility. And now, like, he doesn't have enough stuff to do. So they're probably going to change it. Instead of being a stun, it's likely going to do something else. I have a feeling they're not going to get rid of it, but I think that they're probably going to attach some sort of debuff to it. Maybe they'll, make it so that it does basically, a damage boost, like a Discord or something, like Zenyatta's Discord or whatever. Something so that you do extra damage to them, or maybe there'll be an anti-heal or something. Regardless, they're going to be changing a bunch of stuff on McCree. Again, I don't expect that to actually happen until after the Christmas break. So there you go. A ton of changes are going to be coming up. Lots of them are going to be nerfs, a couple of reworks. What do you guys think about all of that? What do you think the likely changes are going to be? What do you think Brigitte and McCree's new ultimates will be? Let me know down below.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and